Okay, y'all. So yesterday, V. Terrell Hill dropped part one of his four-part, 4-day. Some are calling it a revival. Okay, his docu-series, and the title of it was "From Zero to the Extension Cord." And I said, "Oh my God, let's talk about it." So yesterday was the big drop of the part one of the B. Terrell Hill 4-part docu-series. And I'm not gonna lie to you all, I have mixed emotions. I have a lot of different emotions about this. It's not just like one or two, it's several emotions wrapped up into one, and I cannot explain fully how I'm feeling, but just know that I'm feeling a lot of different emotions about this whole thing. So part one was called "From Zero to Extension Cord," and Victor Hill details his life growing up. I did not know he was an Army brat like me. Okay, so that was pretty cool to know. Although we were never overseas, he apparently grew up in Germany, but both parents were from North Carolina. I'm not gonna lie to you all. I actually, because I like to listen to a lot of content, so I was a little disappointed. The only thing I was disappointed in was the length of part one. The length of it. I was like, I need more. I just, that's how I am. I needed more information, and I kind of wanted him to expound a little bit more on his childhood, but I can understand how it probably having that conversation probably triggered him. I can understand that wholeheartedly. Like I can see how sitting down, having people asking you questions, although albeit they're part of his team, it's still you're bringing up emotions that you probably haven't dealt with, since you talked to your therapist about it or your life coach about it. So I could see that, but I'm not gonna lie to you all. Part of me was confused, a part of me was sad, a part of me was empathetic, a part of me y'all give me a minute, part of me felt bad, and then part of me was like, I feel like he's gonna do a build up. I feel like he's gonna do a build up. Now, I have watched some commentary, okay, because again, I listen to a lot of commentary throughout the day, especially when I'm home working. And I was watching one video, and I said to myself, I never looked at it like that. We are all in the content game. Some people are better than others. I know I'm probably still on the low end of the totem pole. I'm completely fine with that. But you do have people that have pretty large platforms. They're making a lot of money on YouTube. And one question that really kind of stuck out to me, and I'm going to continue to watch because I want to make sure that I'm not being biased, is what is the end goal in this? And some people are saying like this is a clout chase. Some people are saying that he's disgruntled. Personally, I'm going to put myself in the equation for a second, although this is not my story. But of course, I'm a Leo. That's what we do. There's been times for me where, although the people that I have had connections with in the past in the church are not a part of my YouTube community, I don't really see them on YouTube like that. They're mostly on like Instagram and Facebook. But I've wanted to sit down for myself to share my story, especially when it comes down to the church. So, although the numbers are great, of course, Larry's name brings, an audience because people are genuinely interested in knowing what the hell is going on behind the scenes. Part of me thinks that and believes that, and I have not had any conversations with V. Terrell Hill. I'm purposely not doing that, okay? I know a lot of people have reached out to him. I personally am trying to wait because I want to have a genuine reaction to everything, right? So, although he has given us, I did watch his video on Wednesday after he did a live stream, and I was live, and then I saw that he was live, so then I kind of popped in, and he, you know, encouraged creators to reach out, you know, to get, but I said, you know, I'm going to wait because I don't, first of all, I just want to make sure that everything is organic, you know, and I already, you know, feel for him. I already, I'm already empathetic for him. So I know me, like I have a mothering, nurturing, let me help you come, you know what I mean? Like that type of thing. So I don't want to mix that. I want to make sure that I'm having an unbiased, genuine reaction to all of this. So let's go back to part one. So the reason why I think he's doing this, I think in my mind, this is just my own personal opinion to the question that was posed on another platform. And that is, what is the end goal in all this? I think we have to look at it from a couple of different lenses. Probably part of the end goal is numbers, of course. Viewership, of course. Viewership is really more important than the numbers, actually. People don't realize that the viewership on the videos are more important than your subscriber count. They don't realize that. But I also think that part of the end goal is just wanting to share the story, like just wanting to get it out there. And then you have to also pose the question, because this is what I realized that was not said. No one, when Larry was doing Reading Things My Way, and I'm talking about, I think this was like 2019-ish time frame, I believe. When he was doing that, no, I don't recall anyone posing that same question about why he was doing Reading Things My Way. I don't recall any, because at the time I was a faithful LRLer. Like I was watching all the time. I was watching every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Like, try me not. So I don't see why people are questioning why now B. Terrell Hill is coming out with his story, because why can't he tell his story? He actually was there at the beginning of the entire platform. So why wouldn't, like, come on now. Now, of course, Larry's name is much bigger. It's going to bring in views. It's going to bring in more clout. We all know that. That's not a secret. That's not like, it's a nothing burger to me. Like, people do it all the time. You think that if you go to any popular YouTube channel, go right now, click off and come back. If you go to any popular YouTube channel, you're going to realize that like their most popular video with the most popular celebrity, go look, is pinned at the top. It just is what it is, right? The videos on my channel that have garnered the most views for my live streams, that is, are at the top. You want people to continue to look at the view because it's something that people actually like. So, you know, like, so what? It's a clout game. Like, come on, y'all. We're not children here, right? Like, we're grown. So, yes, it's a clout game. I don't blame him for it. Shoot, what? And I mean, and I would probably be a little teed off myself, knowing that I helped to build something and was there. I was an intricate part of something, and now I'm not, and the money is generating and I'm not getting it. People probably feel some type of way. So I'm not mad at him for that. Honestly, I'm not. I think that it's just a part of the game. He's doing it well. Now, I was having a conversation the other day with someone, and they said, well, you know, Catrice, he came up with this in February. It's May. Why now? Why now? And I'm gonna push back a little bit and say, why not now? Personally, I've been removed from my ministry. It'll be 10 years in September. Okay? Every chance that I get that I can say to someone what has happened to me and give my testimony and share my book with someone about what happened to me almost 10 years ago, I do it. Like, when did y'all stop becoming Christians? This is what I don't understand. Like, I want to know, like, do y'all believe in the word or you don't? Because the word talks about giving a testimony. So, what's the problem? And I get it. I get it. Just bear with me. Some of y'all love Larry. Completely alright. Completely fine. Nothing wrong with it. But because you love Larry doesn't mean that you can't listen to B. Terrell Hill's story, right? Because not every time a content creator tells you something, word is bond. It's not like, I'm quite sure that all of us have fabricated something to preserve someone's identity or to not share our sources. Like, that's a part of what we do. So there probably have been times where he might have told the majority truth but had to flip it a little bit. I think he's even owned that on his platform before. So V. Terrell Hill is giving us his POV about their 20 some odd year friendship slash relationship slash situationship slash whatever. That's really what's happening. Okay, you've heard from Larry, but now you get to hear from V. Terrell Hill. VTH has his own story. VTH is not going to tell you the same thing that Larry's telling you because he's not Larry. He's V. Terrell Hill. So I feel like we need to, and maybe it's me being a twin that I could see from this angle, because growing up, they would always try to compare us to each other, right? Family and friends would try to compare us. Oh, you know, your sister does this, or your sister does that, or she doesn't do this. But I had to let them know, especially as an adult, yes, we're twins, but we're sisters, and we have our own identity, we have our own purpose. And so you're not gonna rope me into this whole, you know, this whole thing where it's one big comparison game. I'm not interested in that. Okay? So when it comes down to the situation concerning Larry and V. Terrell Hill, Larry is Larry. Let Larry be good. Let Larry be Larry. Let Larry be great. But same for V. Terrell Hill. Like, we're not gonna sit around here because Larry has longevity in the game, more subscribers, more clout, that he's the only one that gets to tell his story at any time. We're not gonna do that. And if you want to do it that way, I'm here to tell you that you just know it's not the right thing to do. V. Terrell Hill has his own story, and so for the people that's like, well, are you trying to gain clout? Partly, yeah, he is. And the other part is, let the man just tell his damn story. Part one had everything to do with his upbringing, his childhood, his mother. And he was very open about how his mother, I have to say allegedly because I'm not him, and I hope he understands that, but how his mother, you know, utilized corporal punishment. And I hadn't heard that term that phrase in a long time. I said, corporal punishment, child. I was a little taken back. But not one time. Yeah, he put the clip up of Larry at the beginning, but not one time did he mention Larry. He's telling his story. And of course, towards the end, it's going to build up to a Larry, we're probably going to see more of Larry in the equation, in the videos, but we can't say this is a Larry story today, Friday, because Thursday, it was V. Terrell Hill sharing his parents, and his parents' cute little dog, by the way, I love that. Him sitting on the couch and having a conversation and sharing his truth and being vulnerable. So we gotta get out of that, y'all. Like, I get it, y'all love mess, and messes what sells, child. But at the end of the day, you have to allow people to be themselves. And so I'm actually excited to see that he is taking this opportunity to share the foundation, because I'm quite sure that the foundation is going to show us the build up to his tenure in the ministry. I'm quite sure that's going to happen. All right, but we're not going. Let's stop this comparison thing, y'all. Let's stop saying, well, Larry did this and he's this and he's that, so that means that V. Terrell Hill should be diminished. Yeah, we ain't gonna do that, because that's stupid. Like, y'all just gotta. You can say that Larry's your favorite. I implore you to say that for those of you all who have been around the platform for a long time. You love him. You know, you donate. You're part of the Patreon. Do all the things. But V. Terrell Hill is trying to establish his footing. It does seem like it's building off of Larry's back a little bit, right? But he's also sharing his story, his truth. And you have to respect that. And you have to also think about it like this, because this is what I thought about too. Just bear with me, okay? V. Terrell Hill, and this is what I gathered before he came up with anything in February. He knew people were looking for him. I personally was. because when he left the platform, I was like, well, what happened to Buddha? Is Buddha just not a part of the platform anymore? Like, is he on vacation? Like, did he take a break? Where's Buddha? Buddha just up and disappeared. And then, 2022, popped back on the scene. And y'all late, by the way. He been back on the scene. Because I went back and I looked. And he came back as Safe Space with V. Terrell Hill. Now, did he get a lot of traction at first? No. However, what I believe happened from my standpoint, from when I went back to look, is that he wanted to, I mean, of course he had to utilize, let's go back. Because we're not going to, even though Larry's name was on Larry's platform, granted, he was a very intricate part of the entire platform. So why is it a shock that he's going to try to come up with his own channel and then share his truth? Why is that a shock to y'all? Anyway, I was a little confused going back to the docuseries part 1. I watched it as he was talking. I was visualizing, some of the things that he was talking about, especially when he was in Germany and waiting for his mother with his sister and everything. Y'all go back and watch it. I'm not going to tell y'all the whole story. He told it yesterday. Go look at it, okay? I ain't got time to be going to recap every little thing for y'all, okay? Like, I'm Catrice, not Victor Hill, child. But one thing that when it initially ended, again, I was a little disappointed in the time of the video. I like long form content. I do. It kind of left me confused because I was expecting more of Larry in there, but I was pleasantly surprised that he did not do that. And I'm happy that he did it like that, because that was his moment to say, this is my childhood, my upbringing. Here is why I probably got into a situation that was not conducive for my life. And if a lot of us will really be honest and tell the truth, we all have a similar story to tell in regards to that. We all have a similar story to tell in regards to something happening in our childhood that has formed us to be who we are today. I know I can tell you all exactly what happened to me when I was younger that caused me to be how I am right now, especially when it comes down to marriage. Especially, I'm talking about childhood and when I was in ministry. Because it didn't just stop when I was a child. When I got into the ministry and I saw that people were not living happy lives in marriage, you want me to sign up for this? You want me to sign up for marriage? Okay. Because of what I saw, right? And keep in mind, going on, of course, my own tangent, I keep telling you all, between both parents, they had 11 siblings combined, and only one was not married. And so, for me, it should be marriage is the way, but for me, marriage is not the way. So that should tell you something. That should tell you a lot. And I had 2 aunts that got married twice, and 1 uncle that got married. I think he got married like 4 times. So that should tell you something, okay? So we all have something. We need to just I need people that watch me and subscribe here to put on your thinking caps for a second and to be smart. V. Terrell Hill, his story is probably somebody else's story. A lot of other people probably see themselves in him. Or if not, the entire situation, because they probably don't have a Larry Reid in their lives, right? But they could probably glean something from a portion of what he has gone through. Okay? So anyway, that's all I have, I think. Yeah. I think that's all I got. I'm definitely looking forward to parts 2, 3, and 4. I have a wedding to go to tomorrow, but before I go, I will be watching because it comes on before I go to the wedding. Okay, it's a late wedding, so I have time. But I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. I'm very, very excited to see how he's going to bring all of this together, okay? And hopefully, this is what I would like to see too. This is what I would like to see as I give you all my AME close. Okay? I would love to see some sort of, if not reconciliation, some sort of truce to, after this is all done and all over with, for bygones to be bygones. Just, you know what, I'm not going to continue to bring you up. You've gone on with your life. I need to go with my content. Let's just call the whole thing off. And I'm not saying that B. Terrell Hill can't still tell his story in whatever capacity in his safe space community to help and impact and encourage other people. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that I would love to see some sort of reconciliation to the point where you don't have to like each other, you don't have to love each other anymore, but you have a mutual respect. That's what I would really like to see, instead of this, I know that clout and drama and mess sells here on YouTube, but maybe I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's like, it's a thing. However, can we just like do our own thing and mind our own business and go our own way? That's what I've done with church. I wrote my book and I went on with my life. Like I might bring it up here and there when I'm talking about a particular subject here on YouTube, but this is what I don't do in my personal life anymore. I don't bring it up in my personal life like I used to. I used to harbor so many ill feelings about my former church and the people that were in it, especially the First Family. And now it's like, is it gonna serve me? And like, it doesn't really do anything for me at the end of the day. Like I'm not them, they're not me. I don't live their life, they don't live mine. We live two separate, ways of living. They do the church thing, I don't. It doesn't even matter anymore. Like I'm not, so I no longer bring them up. The beautiful part about it is I no longer have and harbor those hot, heated emotions. Oh, I used to have really hot emotions, and I would get so much anxiety when I would talk about them or think about them. But now I don't. You know why? Because I've seen them since, I've embraced them since, and I've moved on with my life. Now, have we had a conversation? No. And we may never. But that's okay too. Because I know my truth. I no longer have to prove it to them. I used to want to prove it to them. Oh, I didn't do this and you need to know it. And if I get the opportunity, it's not worth it. Not for me. Now, for some people, it might be worth it. So for some people, it might be to the point where they feel like, they're going to hear me come hell or high water. But after a while, your body's going to be consumed with all of that negative energy, those hot-heated emotions. They formulate into something. Because when I went in for my hysterectomy back in 2022, and I forgot when, I want to say it was like a few weeks after my surgery, my OBGYN called me in, and she actually rescheduled my appointment to the end of the day, because she wanted to sit down with me and take extra time to let me know that the pathology report from my surgery, that there were cancer cells in the pathology report. I had held so many emotions in my body, so much negative energy in my body, and probably hereditary as well because of my mom. But I had harbored so many emotions in my body that there were cancer cells in my uterus. So a lot of that was not just an enlarged uterus, it was cancer cells in that uterus because of emotions. And so what I hope that they could do is that they could find a place where they can meet in the middle and talk things out off camera and move on. That's what I hope. That's what I genuinely hope that for them, that they can have a conversation, talk things out, and they can move forward. In love. I'm not going to bring you up. I'm not going to bring you up. We're going to do our own thing and move forward. What I don't like though, and I'm going to be honest, and this might seem like I'm swaying more towards B. Terrell Hill, and that's fine. I don't care. What I don't like is if you're unbothered. This is just me being very honest and open and upfront. If you are so unbothered, a smear campaign is not warranted. And that's on both sides actually. But I'm talking about from after the February 15th video, an entire smear campaign happened on the side that said they were so unbothered. The math wasn't mathing for me. It just wasn't mathing. So I think both need to let bygones be bygones. Both need to have a conversation with the Lord and then move on. Honestly, truly, just, you know what? We can exist in the same space or not. If I run into you, I can coexist with you without any problems. But leave me alone. Let me just go about my life and move on. A smear campaign is never the answer. And if you look up who does smear campaigns, you will understand why I'm saying that. Because if you watch V. Terrell Hill's content before the 15th of February, you will understand more by and by why I'm saying it. Okay? Because I watch everything. I may not be able to watch everything all the time live when people are on live or dropping videos, but the Lord will always find a way for me to get to a video to see what I need to see. And what I'll do is I'll sit down and I'll compare, I'll take a mental note. Okay, this happened over here, but why did they say this over here when I do that. And then sometimes I'll be like, don't get upset, Catrice, just allow God to do his work. You get what I'm saying? So I don't think a smear campaign is warranted on either side. Now, do I think that what V. Terrell Hill is doing is a smear campaign? Let me think about it. From where I'm sitting, I'm going to say no. However, perception on other sides or unbiased perceptions may say different. They may say, why do you need to bring this up now? Is it really worth it? Okay? But from where I'm sitting, honestly, as a person that has been a viewer for many, many years and was waiting for him to come out, I don't see this as a smear campaign. I see this as a way for him to be set free. Now, if we are here, this is me being fair. Y'all know I'm honest and I'm fair. If we're still here next year, it's a smear campaign. If we're here, it's May. So if we are here in July, then it becomes, okay, there's something that's unsettled here, and I'm going to question if you're really healed. And I try to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's in such a vulnerable position, right? But if we're still here in July or December 2024, what's the end goal really now? Because you came out in February. Actually, you came out before then because there was content going on. But you officially came out and broke your silence in February. It's now November, December. Baby, why are we still here? Why are we being held hostage is what my question would be. Why are we still here in this moment? But right now, I don't really see this as a smear campaign. I see this more as him just trying to give further context to the February 15th drop. But V. Terrell Hill, I'm going to question you in July and November. We back here, baby. I'm going to question you. I'm going to be like, baby, we got to have a talk. Why are we still talking about Larry in January and December in July? I'm going to do that. Y'all know I'm fair. Okay? Then at that point, then Larry might have to say, okay, you know what? Now I got to kind of do some other things because you kind of obsessed. That would be how I would feel if we're in November, we're still talking about this. Honestly. I think we need to get through the next few days, allow him to tell his story, and then allow him to move on. And hopefully after this, there will be a move. But if we're back here again in 3 months, then I might have something else to say. But, you know, my commentary, I think, has been pretty fair because I've watched for many, many years. I've even been on the side of the not so positive too. So, you know what I mean? So for me, it's just about giving my viewpoint as to from where I'm sitting as to why he might be doing this. Okay? We shall see, child. Thank you all so much for watching today. Do not forget to hit that like, that share, and that subscribe button. Do not forget that the aunties, they love your girl cocktails. So share me with them, okay? So they can get this good tea too. I'll see y'all soon. Love you. Bye.